Oh, good.
Oh, am I unmuted though? That's the
I
question.
think you are.
A lot of times I mute it and then I forget to unmute it.
Well, you muted yesterday, but
I know.
I unmuted it today. Hey, everybody. So we're getting started just a few minutes early. We got here early. We decided to launch it.
We were sitting here just waiting, like, what should we do? I don't know.
Let's launch this bad boy and start talking and see if anybody shows up. So welcome to today's live training. So we're getting a few people on here. I'd like to do an audio test. If you don't mind, head on over to the chat section and just say all clear if you can hear us.
And see us.
And see, well, yeah.
Yeah, you got to see us too, because we're going to be sharing information, but I got a bunch of slides that I've prepared of real examples of different, campaigns that we have and tools that we're using and templates and so on and so forth. So I think it'll be very beneficial for you to be able to see the stuff, because we could talk about like, oh, do this and oh, do that.
All right, all clear from hundreds of people here. So,
Gary, I'm excited about this particular topic at this time of year.
Would you like to expound on that and let me know why?
Yes. Well, we're talking about a 12-month marketing calendar for real estate.
And so, what better time to implement that
than starting right now? It's December. It's January is right around the corner. Right around, literally like a couple of weeks away. And so what better time than to get our marketing done, get it, planned, get the ideas down, get all the stuff that you're going to need, because one of the things that we know is that if you market consistently throughout the year, first you need to have a plan to make sure, and you've got to have the ideas and the resources in place so you can implement that plan. But when you have that business, if your marketing is consistent and your prospecting is consistent, then your business is a lot more consistent. Yeah. So, a lot of times what happens, this happens to us. This just happened like not too long ago, where, you get busy. Maybe you're working with clients and maybe it's...
Oh, you're going there.
Yeah, you get busy and you forget to do stuff. Maybe it's been months since you've sent out your marketing. And, if you could just have that plan in place. But what happens when we neglect to do it?
Well, when we neglect to do it, what happens is all of that business opportunity that could have been flowing our way goes somewhere else, simply because people did not know that we're still in the business. So that is why this is so critical, especially this time of year. And so now that we're at the top of the hour, Chris.
Oh, we should start.
Start officially, but I do want to let everybody know what's going to happen today.
Hey, you should tell everybody who we are if this is the first time they're joining us. Just say what your name is.
Oh, I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris. This is actually, his name is Gary Kreth. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
We're frozen.
I'll probably undo it.
Okay. Right.
Let us see. Oh, might have been like one person there.
Oh, no. They were frozen over there.
Oh, okay. It's working now. We're back.
So what's going to happen is we're going to train for now 56 minutes, and we're going to go in depth. And at the end of that, we'll talk about some tools and resources that you have at your disposal. And then for about 30 minutes after that, we are going to do some in-depth Q&A. So here's where we need your help. We need you to give us questions to answer at the end of the session. So as we go through all of this, go over to the Q&A or to the chat section and ask questions, and our team will flag them. Yes, Chris,
I got an idea.
You got an idea.
Let's do this. Why don't you, right now, go to the chat section, all right, and tell us what the one thing is that you'd like to take away from your time with us today.
Perfect.
Right. That'll do a couple things. Make sure they know how to use that chat feature. Also, what it's going to do is give Gary and I an idea on how do we customize this for everybody today, right? Yep. Like we've got lots of information that we've already prepared, but I want to make sure that we highlight different things and different components. Here's what I do have planned for you guys. I'm going to go month by month for a full 12 months of things that you can do. Now, I will share with you, in addition to giving you like, here's the marketing that you can do in each one of those months, we're going to talk a lot about tools and technology to do this. The great thing about marketing in this digital age and marketing these days is that you can use tools, digital tools, marketing tools, right? So that you can do it far less expensively, sometimes free, but you can do it so much less expensively than you would have had to have done it, back in the olden days of selling real estate when we had fax machines and so on and so forth. So we're going to do that. And then as questions come up, pop them in there. And with that, Gary, I'm actually going to do something real quick here. I want to share my screen. So I'm going to take over for just a second so that as we transition into the presentation that we've prepared for you guys, you'll be able to see the stuff. All
Let's
right?
do it.
Okay, so here we go. If for some reason stuff freezes up, just let me know.
Will do.
And hopefully we are back online. I've got my screen on there. And what we're going to share with you is this 12-month calendar. I'm giving you a bit of a preview of it here. You can take a screenshot of this. If you've downloaded the guide for today's training, you're going to see it in there or parts of it in there. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. However, embedded within this conversation or included in this conversation, or how are we using these different technology tools, these marketing tools, so that we can lower our cost of advertising, so that we can reach more people, so that we can reach them more effectively. And here's another thing I want to be able to share with everybody today, Gary, is there are oftentimes, many of you may have experiences with one or some of these tools. There are oftentimes breakdowns that occur.
Yes, of course.
Right? Like it doesn't work for you for some reason. And I want to make sure, and you might have to remind me because we're going to be moving fairly fast once we actually get this thing cranked up and start going through each one of the months, is remind me from time to time, and if I'll remind you from time to time, depending on who needs to talk about it, is where does the breakdown occur? Like one of the common ones is, yeah, I tried Facebook, it doesn't work for me. That's a common breakdown. Or I tried Instagram, or I tried this, or I tried that. So let's try to show people where some of those common breakdowns occurred and maybe how to overcome them. So I'm going to go to the next piece and we'll start to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, we'll just do a quick intro and then we'll get into the meat of it all.
All right.
So real quick, everybody, this here is Chris Scott. Chris is the digital marketing expert in real estate. Look no further because here he is. And Chris, he started his career in real estate marketing almost 19 years ago, right?
Yeah, July of 1999.
Yeah, he was the head of consumer marketing for Brian Buffini for 11 years. And more recently ran the sales and marketing divisions for a 2-time Inc. 500 winning company. Now he is my partner here at the Paperless Agent. We've been working together for about 5 years. 5 years now?
A little over 5 years.
A little over 5 years. Chris now is generating over 6,000 leads every single month, and he's managing pages with over 260,000 followers. So if you want to learn about digital marketing, this is the guy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Well, let me introduce the guy who really just puts me to work all the time with all this digital marketing or activity, and that's Gary Kreth here. So Gary is our sales and business development expert. Gary's been selling real estate, get this, for over 21 years. He doesn't look like he looks like he could be 21 years old, but he's actually been selling real estate for over 21 years. And Gary still sells real estate today. In fact, our real estate firm here in Austin, Texas, we've got a number of listings. We work with buyers and sellers. And so a lot of what we're going to be sharing with you is stuff that Gary is supporting, the business that Gary has running that's in place right now. So that's really exciting to be able to share with you guys stuff that's working. Get this, Gary, at the height of his listing career, and he still does listings, like I said, was going on 6 listing appointments every single week, carrying an average of around 50 pending or active listings almost single-handedly, right? That's a lot of listing volume. That's a lot of listing leads to be generating. And so, all of this work has gotten Gary even featured by Apple Computer. And what I want you for us today, Gary, is where we need to be able to add that edge to the marketing and start to delve into some of the prospecting. Maybe it's a script, maybe it's a dialogue, is to share that information with everybody so that they can like execute this well. I think I can give you a marketing campaign, and then if you don't really do it well, you get a bad result. You don't get a result.
Well, a good marketing campaign is only as good as the execution.
Yes. So with that,
let's get into the first month.
You know what? Maybe we should just pause for a second. Any highlights about what people want to learn today, or what?
So Alejandra is looking for material to post. Zoki, desired takeaway strategy for geo-targeting and farming. Let's see.
Content to post, geo-farming and targeting. We got that covered today. You're going to be getting an awful lot of that.
Yep.
I saw something about AdWords there.
Yep, AdWords. Alejandra, I'm looking for tools and a plan. So yeah, they're all here looking for exactly what we're going to be talking about today. What's the best balance between traditional marketing and technology-based marketing? How to sell a luxury market if you're new.
Lead
generation ideas and techniques.
Gary does we do the luxury market. Most of our listings right now are in the Austin. I mean, like for us, It's in Austin, it's $1 million plus. I know, if you're like in Beverly Hills, you would scoff at $1 million. But, here in Austin, that would be luxury.
Dorothene wants to know, is Facebook a good source of leads? That's a good one. We'll talk about that. And Shane says some inexpensive means of marketing. So we're actually going to be talking about all of that. Let's do it.
Let's get into the first one. So January.
Yeah, Greg says, get on with it. Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. So January, a real estate market update report. Now, I want to put a spin on this. What I'm talking about here is sharing your expertise, sharing what you know about the market. Here's an example that you did not too long ago where you shared, this was actually just from last month, where you did a Facebook Live.
Yes.
Right? So you used Facebook Live, which one of the reasons why we like to use Facebook Live for this is Facebook favors Facebook Live content when it's considering who it's going to put the information out to. Whether you're doing organic or even doing some boost, doing some paid promotion with it, Facebook likes Facebook Live content because it's more engaging. And so one of the simple things that you guys can do, you might have to practice it a little bit, like practice what you're going to say, know what you're going to say about the market. But this is a simple way to get it in front of a lot of people.
You know what the easiest way to do this is, at least with the Austin Board of Realtors, I would imagine that your board does this too, is every single month they send out the most recent market statistics. So what I did, Chris, is I had those market statistics up on my screen as I was looking at the camera doing a Facebook Live, and I was saying, hey, this is what's going on with the market right now. By the way, did you know the market's starting to shift a little bit? So
now, if you're a little concerned about doing this, I'm going to show you a free tool to be able to make awesome videos that you can. You don't have to do Facebook Live for it. You can actually practice and rehearse it. I'm going to share with them a free tool.
This is a new tool.
Yeah, it's something that's
really cool.
Really new. So I will get to that. I've got it here in the slides. Now, here's the thing. Being able to share what you know. Why is January a good time to share what you know about what's going on in the market? Here's why. People who are making moving decisions in February, March, April, May, June, are they wondering what's going on in the market?
Of course, they need to know what's going on. But here's a tip. They need to know what's going on in the market and what it means to them.
So you always make it a point to say, here's what's happening in the market, and then here's what it means for you.
Yeah, if you're looking to buy a house, this is what it means to you. If you're looking to sell a house, this is what it means to you. And by the way, if you need specific information and specific report to your home, all you need to do is message me your address and I'll get it right over to you.
So that's an example of, and what's this slide that I dropped in here? Oh, I see what I did. So I boosted this post, but I didn't just do a regular boost. I actually took this into Facebook ads, and then I marketed this to two groups of people. One, anyone who visited our website in the last 180 days, and then your database. Gary has a database of around 560 some folks that we like to remarket to constantly. So that video went onto the Facebook business page, and then we created a simple ad to be able to retarget people who have visited our website last 180 days in the Gary's database. And what's cool is that you don't have to break the bank.
You spent $3.
I spent $3. You don't have to break the bank to get this out there. It's just like, all right, you produce relevant content for the people who you think are going to care about it, and then just a simple boost. So this is a great way to get in front of a lot more people. So $3, what does that mean? $3, 353 people who are already somehow connected to us, right? Whether it's people in your database or people who've been checking out our website, right?
Yeah, so they're already familiar with us. Yes. We already know they're interested in real estate. And Michelle said, I'm a new agent with limited marketing budget. Boy, $3 to market this to everybody in your database.
Skip Starbucks tomorrow morning and do this instead, right? Like just it is simple to. And here's the thing. Let me also show you how easy it is to produce a video.
This is that app that you were talking about.
So it's called Soapbox. It's free. I'm going to show you how easy it is to use Soapbox to create a video. So I'm going to pull up my screen here. This is going to be dangerous because who knows if this is going to break down or not. You see this little icon I have here in the top right-hand corner? It's a Chrome extension, so it only works on Chrome. So you have to install the Chrome web browser to make this extension work. But check this out. So I click on it, and it wants me to sign in. So I guess I'll sign in with Google.
Yeah, and what's the name? This is Soapbox.
This is Soapbox. Okay, I'm signed
owned by Wistia.
So check it out.
Oh, look at this.
So I click on the icon. and it's looking at my camera. So I'm looking at this camera. I won't be looking at you guys. I'm looking at this camera, and it shows me where to line up. So let me line up here, and the software automatically starts to adjust for the lighting. See how my face looks all bright and shiny, but if I put it over here, it's a little bit dark. So it does a software adjustment. Now, what I can do is I'm going to pull up a listing. I don't have the market stats in front of me. I'm just going to pull up one of our listings. So I've got this listing. This is one of our listings for
on Barclay.
On Barclay, right? So I think this is still active. Yes. So this is our property landing page. What I'm going to do is I got to pull that soapbox back up, and I'm just going to click start recording, and it's going to say what do I want to record. And so I'm just going to go here, and instead of talking about the market, I'm just going to talk about this listing, right?
That's
Pretend like I'm
beautiful home.
This is a beautiful home. You got to check out this home on Barclay Heights. You know, when you walk up to this home, this screams craftsmanship. It screams the lifestyle, right? So anyway, pretend like I was talking about that. Instead, I could have market stats here. I could be talking about market stats instead and saying, hey, here's what's going on in the Austin market. Here's what it means for you. Once I'm done, I just click on that stop button. And then here's it actually, there's the video.
That's so awesome.
Right?
So it pulls up your face next to the screen share.
Now, let's say I don't want the screen share. I can just clip it here and then go there, or I can clip it here and then go back to just the screen, or I could clip it here again and go back to me doing it. I could clip the ends of the video if I stuttered and stuff like that at the beginning or at the end, or, you know, a lot of times what happens is I forget. I don't think about how I'm going to end a video. So then I like pause for a while, like, how should I end this video? So anyway, and it's free. So you can do a video, a market stats video using a free tool like this, and then sharing this with via Facebook if you want. So I had to,
a great way to do market statistic update.
So here's another one where Gary talked about what's ahead in the market. And again, you know, shooting a video, sharing it, but what the emphasis for January is talking about the market. You know, it would not be surprising me if you go to networking events, you know, during the
holiday
parties. And what do people usually ask you?
Hey, Gary, how's the market?
Yeah. So it's like you already have you should have an answer, right?
You should have an answer more than, well, the market's great. You should actually have an answer. Well, you know, what's happening is this past month, these statistics affected the market in Austin here. And what we're looking at is moving forward is that perhaps the market's going to be slowing down, and what this means to you as a buyer. So as you have these statistics readily available, you look like an expert, but then also share this via video.
Yeah. And if you want to make a more effective call to action, right? So one of the things you're doing through this type of marketing is, you know, you're developing an audience. You're building trust. We're going to talk about building trust. And this is one of the ways you build trust, through sharing your expertise. But then you need to have effective calls to action, right? One of the ways you can do that is to say, hey, if you'd like a more in-depth report on what's going on in the market, just message me and I'll be happy to send you a market report that I've put together. Now, this example is something that we've provided our clients. It's a market report on how's the market, and then they can just share this with the people who ask. And so very simple to implement something like this. Like I said, it's free. Even if you're not comfortable doing video, you could do this. Heck, you could author a blog post and do this, right? So lots of different ways to be talking about the market. And like we said, anyone who's thinking of making a move, essentially during the spring and summer, is wondering right now, how's the market?
How's the market, and what does it mean to me? How's it going to affect our change?
Right. It's also a good way, if you've got people in your sphere, maybe you're already kind of in conversation with them, is a way to prompt more dialogue, right? Prompt more dialogue. Well,
February.
Goodness, we're gonna have to speed up the pace.
I know.
Here you are talking about videos and Facebook
You're the one talking
Live. So the Move Up program. This program is, one day we were sitting down. We were actually in this studio, and I said, Gary, because we were talking about like our real estate business, and I said, you know, if your next meal depended on you getting a commission, what would you do?
Yeah, and so what I said is, easily, I would advertise my Move Up program. And what I do is I research my database and find out everybody who has lived in their home for more than 3 years. Then I produce a very quick CMA. You can use something like RPR for this. Just put in their address and send them the report and offer help to them. Then follow up with a quick phone call or a text message saying, hey, want to let you know, I just sent you a market report. Gosh, did you know that you've been in your house for 7 years, and this is how much equity that you've probably built in your home? By the way, if you're thinking of moving, let me know. And so anyway, I know I'm jumping ahead here because
that's okay. So I mean, here's why. I want to take a step back and talk about why something like this works and why it works well for a quicker commission.
Yeah.
So when we are hoping to find clients to work with,
Yes.
we actually have to step outside of what we hope and look at what the customer journey is.
Mhm.
So a customer journey is going to look something like this. You got a lot of people viewing homes online right now. They're not ready to take action probably for another year or so.
Right.
But you got all these people, and then you got people who are like coming down this phase of consideration. Now, at some point, they start to think, all right, this is the home, or this is the neighborhood, or, I think I need to talk to somebody in real estate.
Exactly.
And then the shift changes from, well, who do I know? Who do I trust? Right? What people have been providing the information. And at that point, then they're going to make a decision.
Yep.
Right? And then they're going to work with somebody and then hopefully buy or sell a home.
Yep.
So our job is to intersect with them at some point before they've made the decision on who they're going to work with.
That's exactly right.
And begin the process of building trust. A lot of lead generation fails because of this one thing, is we try to swoop in at the last hour before they're making a choice to work with somebody and hope that they choose to work with us. And it only happens such a small percentage of the time, and it's usually not high quality transactions or high quality leads. What we have to do is intersect a little bit earlier, right? And so that the trust building process can happen.
Yep.
Here's the thing. If like one of the ways, and I'll talk about this, is if you're marketing real estate on the regular, right? Like you're marketing listings, open houses and stuff, and you're building an audience and you're building up traffic and you're retargeting, what happens is that trust building is taking place already, right? So now you can intersect with them and there's some trust in place.
Yep.
This is also why referred business is so effective, because there is this transfer of trust that happens through word of mouth. This is also a great word of mouth harvesting system. So
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit about, so what we're doing is you're finding people who have been in their home for
more than 3 years. And the reason we chose 3 years is Austin is a very transient city. We move a lot here in Austin. If wherever you are, if people move every 7 to 10 years, you may want to bump it to 5 years. But you want to find those people, produce a very quick CMA, find out about how much equity they have in their house since you sold them the home, and then call them. But here's the thing. Let's say you're a brand new agent and you've never sold a house before. That's okay. You can do this for everybody that you know. You just do the research, send them all of this information, and then follow up.
Yeah, the key thing here is there was tremendous value in you going through and preparing that information. I mean, that's high level personal touch type marketing where you're going out and producing a CMA for them. Now you're limiting your audience because there's only people who've been, a slight modification might be, you could actually probably change this into my first time home buyer program, right? So people who are renting, you could go through your database, find people who are renting. You could actually modify this also for a farm area. Right. So you could do the research in the MLS, find out how long people have been in their homes in your farm area or in a neighborhood that you want to specialize in, and do the same activity of providing the value. Now you've got it's a great conversation starter because you're providing this value to send out. And so you're sending this value out. And basically there's two parts to it is, hey, well, I guess I'll read an email that you can send out. Hey, in reviewing let me give you some context so you're not just sending out CMAs on the random.
Right,
on
the random. What the heck is
it? Right. So, hey, Gary, in reviewing my records, it looks like you've been in your home for over 4 years. It's amazing how time flies. Out of curiosity, I took the liberty of running a market analysis on your home and to see its current estimated value. You can see the analysis attached, okay? And then what we're going to do, I'm going to drop down to the PS. If you have friends or family members who could benefit from my Move Up Buyer program, please tell them about it. Because of you, I'd be happy to make this program available to them.
So all of a sudden, you're giving them a tool of referral. You're giving them a reason to tell everybody else about you, and they look like the rock star.
Absolutely. Now, here's where we start to bring in a tool, right? So there's some effort there, right? You got to do the research.
Yeah.
You got to produce the CMA. You got to send out the email. You got to make a phone call. Now, here's what's happening. Here's what's going to happen. Some of the people might want to have a real estate conversation.
Oh, no.
Right? Some of them might want to have a real estate conversation with you, and you will take advantage of that opportunity.
Absolutely.
There's going to be other people who they're just not ready quite yet. They're like a month, 2 months, 3 months away from having that. And the problem is you can't be like, come on, I want to talk about real estate now.
No.
Let's talk. No, you can't do it that way.
But the point is getting them this valuable information and advertising it to your list on Facebook. This is so powerful because then, this is another tool of referral, because what can happen here is people in your database or in a geographic region that you're serving can actually forward that on and share
Yeah.
that with everybody else.
Now, one of the things I wanted to point out about using a tool like Facebook in this case is you must recognize, a lot of times people report back to, I see this in forums and stuff all the time where people are like, oh, the Facebook's not working. And it's because we're not working with Facebook the way it wants to be worked with. And it's constantly changing. So let me share with you one of the major shifts. And whether you're doing like paying for stuff or you're just sharing stuff on Facebook, this is going to apply to you. But you must remember that over 80% of Facebook traffic happens on a mobile device.
Right.
So and here's what most people do is they put something on Facebook and maybe there's a link to a blog post or a landing page, or for example, they want to send it to some kind of landing page. Here's what happens. You want to know how long it takes to load a web page once someone clicks on the link in Facebook on average?
How long?
8 seconds.
That's an eternity
so
online.
Watch this. Click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're gone.
They're gone.
They never see the landing page. They never see the landing page.
So how do we take care of that?
You got to use Facebook's instant experience tools. Things like if you're going to do let's say you're going to market to your farm area, right? And you've got this ad running to your farm area. Well, you want to make sure you're using tools like their lead ads or their lead form. And it looks like this. So you run the ad. When they click on learn more, it actually pulls a form up in Facebook. So it's already preloaded template. It's fast, it's instant, and it happens right away. The content for the fields, like if they're going to put their email address or whatever information you're asking for, pre-populates. So then they can just click, done.
That's so nice.
Then done.
As I'm driving down the highway at 100 miles an hour, I don't have to type in my contact information.
You don't have to type it in. And like that's just one simple trick why people oftentimes don't see good results is they're not working with a tool. And this is not just Facebook. This is Google. This is website. This is email. This is social media. If you're not getting a result and you notice somebody else is, there's a chance you're just not doing it the same way. I mean, I'll say, like in most cases, there's a system to be figured out.
Right.
So this definitely works towards your database, also works for a farm area. Gosh, we got to move a little bit further and a little bit faster. I want to talk about marketing real estate on Facebook and Instagram. And here's what it looks like. I saw somebody who said they're a listing agent, primarily a listing agent looking for more buyers. So here's what you can do. Marketing real estate on Facebook. It's very simple. You see on the example here, I've got a carousel ad format. And one of the things, and let me address a breakdown. Facebook does not like junky content.
Right, because they're essentially an advertising platform and they need really good content out there so that people engage with the ads.
So the same content that would work good under the algorithm for organic reach, so like things that the algorithm determines how we see things in the newsfeed. Right? The algorithm is using machine learning now. So it's got all these different variables, but it's like an AI platform now. It's machine learning. But the things that it's going to reward is content that works organic, and that's also going to result in lower cost for advertising for those of you who want to extend out and start marketing real estate or really just using the ad platform in general. So here's a very simple campaign that you can use for marketing real estate. You create an ad in Facebook. In this case, you see I've got a multi-image ad, which I like these because there's a lot of opportunity to provide more valuable content in the ad, as well as entice the click or entice the call to action. So you see here, it says, you can begin to see where it says click learn more for address and map. So I'm just sort of incentivizing to see more about it and then take them to a website. In this specific campaign, spend $40 to market this listing, getting in front of 2,547 people. Here's another example where this is one of our listings. By the way, this is a listing that we still have on the market. Recently went through a price reduction, so I think it's now $5.75 million. If you know anybody who's interested in buying this home, please let
us know.
No, but on a serious note, that is serious too. But in this video, for example, that we have of one of our listings, again, we're just marketing real estate. In this case, I spent more money.
Yeah, well, it's a higher price home,
right?
So we have a different budget.
And we're building brand around being luxury, a luxury firm. So we spent $70 to get in front of just under 7,000 people. Right now, here's the thing about video, and this is true of Facebook and really all platforms. Is video, you're going to get rewarded if you use video because video is a more engaging tool. But there's actually like tangible reasons why to do it. If you have a business, if you have a practice, if you have a career in real estate, it's this. When people watch video, it leaves a lingering impact on the viewer. So Facebook did this study.
Right.
And they found that if somebody watched just 10 seconds of a video, let's say you have a 2-minute video and they only watch 10 seconds of it, there's a 65% increase on the impact on brand awareness. If they even only watch 3 seconds of it, it still has an impact. And so that's an important thing to note. Now, a lot of you might be like, I'm afraid of doing video. That whole Facebook Live thing you were talking about, I don't like that idea. Well, when it comes to marketing real estate, you don't even have to get on the camera, right? When it comes to marketing real estate, all you got to do is use free tools, by the way. Again, free tools. Let me close out of the soapbox. Let me go over to our Creth Partners business page. And there's a free tool where you can just upload photos and it'll build a video for you.
Right. So you don't have to go and spend money on any outside technologies now. You just come in here and you create a video off of that.
Where to go? Oh, I'm sorry. This is photo video. Sorry. Sometimes that photo video used to be up here for me the other day. So anyway, what I'm going to do is click on the photo video, create slideshow.
And how many photos can you upload
here? I can upload 10 photos. Okay. I'm not going to upload. I'm actually just going to grab 10 photos that I have already uploaded.
Okay.
It's not from
saving time.
Yeah, just for the purpose of this demonstration. I'm not actually going to create it because this is multiple listings here, so it's not going to make any sense. But what happens is it starts to build the video. So you can decide how long you want the image to stay there. You can click on this and it'll show you a preview of what it's going to look like. I like to use the fade transition, so it gradually fades from one photo to the next. And you can even add some music. If I wanted to, we're in Texas here, so maybe I could do some blues country.
Some blues country sounds good to me.
I'm not going to click on it because I don't think you'll be able to hear the music, but all I have to do then is click on create slideshow and then share that. And if I want to boost that, I can. So that's how simple to get started using a video like this. Another cool one, another tool. I wanted to share another tool with you guys. Let me cancel out of this. So if you want to really step up your video without having to do video, is you can use tools like Legend.
So this is, somebody had asked, how do I get text on a video? And it's by using an app called Legend.
Yeah, so here's an example. We do, Gary and his brother do a lot of walking tour videos. So we actually just grabbed a part of that video, but then this is all slideshow and then text over it. So if you want to know, the URL for that is legend.im.
I'm going to type that in here.
That is only for App Store currently. I think Adobe has one for like Android and stuff. I think it's called Adobe Spark, if I'm not mistaken. So that is, let me see here. Sometimes I get, so I talked about Legend.im. We talked about, this is for another one of our listings. Again, marketing really doesn't have to be video. I mentioned earlier, I really like that carousel ad format. Here's for that Berkeley Heights listing that I mentioned earlier, that I showed you guys earlier.